Hello YouTube, this is Seasonal Effective here. And this is going to be my first video, but first I'm going to tell you a little bit about my channel. It's pretty simple really, it's just going to be a channel where I do what I feel like doing, which can be really anything from a dramatic reading, which this is going to be, to video game gameplay and reviews and such like that. But now, on to the story. The story that we're going to be you're going to be listening to today is Luna Grows a Penis by Stephen the Man on FIMfiction.net, my bad. And let's get started. Princess Luna gracefully strolled around the castle. The day had been pleasant so far. No major international incidents. World War IV hadn't broken out yet. No batshit insane senators planning any schemes. And certainly no nuclear capable mech hijacking. Today was pretty good. Celestia? Luna called out, "Dear sister, where are you?" There was no response. Luna peeked around the corner into the private library where there was no Celestia there. But there was a fresh cup of tea, which meant it obviously belonged to Luna, finders keepers and all that. Luna settled down at the table and examined the book left open. It appeared to be an advanced magic book. Luna turned the book to see the cover. Spells of the Mosti fucking Dios up Dios. Thine compendium of the best tricks and trapes, to make fools of thine kinsponies and thy friends. Part the fourth. Spells of a lewd nature. Luna was very curious now, so she turned to a random page. For the prank lord with a complex most vile, this hex will provide literally days of fun and merriment for you. Simply recite the spell listed below, and soon you will possess the weapon of both God and Stallion, the mighty tower of patriarchy. Thou shalt have a great sort of sexual might. A giant meaty penis in which to dominate thine most unwilling. Thou shalt complain most annoyingly about thine male privilege, but thou may clog thy throats with schlong. Luna was extremely curious now. She had always wanted to possess a weapon of God, and had always wanted to silence the actors of the royal family by clogging their mouths with schlong. Celestia had warned her about free speech, and as Luna put it, my constitution, but Luna did not give a royal fuck about that. Plebs weren't supposed to have right anyway, and it was foolish to think that commoners were supposed to be ruled and controlled by any decent destroyed. That was what the whole incident 1,000 years ago was over. With that incident hot in Luna's mind, she took a big gulp of the tea and read the spell, warming up her horn for magic. Oculus coctulus, fuck thy police, ravioli, give me the penis. Row the boat, do a battle roll, and you just lost that game. Luna recited before noticing an effect almost immediately. Luna felt a growth, looked down. Instead of the usual vagina, there was quite large penis and a heavy set of balls. Luna examined the new genitalia while sipping the tea. The tea had a strange taste to it, bitter, like the tears of a widow. Luna had heard of a herb that tasted like a widow's tears before. It was called some name like Petromus succius corpus, or some other name like that. Luna slapped the penis around a bit. So, how do I work this? How do you operate a penis? Luna, Celestia cried, running towards her sister. What have you done? I grew a penis, dear sister, Luna replied cheerfully. How do I work this? Celestia face-huffed before noticing the tea was gone. Luna, did you drink the tea? Yes, Luna replied before feeling her brain go weird. Two things happened. She lost all sense of empathy and now was fully erect. Celestia shook her head. I guess I'll have to call a guard to deal with this. That spell only goes away once you've run out of semen. Luna grinned and used her telekinesis to lock the door. Oh no, dear sister. I won't need a guard. Celestia's expression turned to slight worry. I knew exactly what you're implying, and no, I will not. But I'm not draining your balls for you, Luna. You have sex with a loyal guard. I mean, I am your sister, and sisters don't do that with each other anyway. Back in the old times, you had to keep wealth of the family, but then Prince Blueblood came about, and that's why incest is now illegal. Luna did not look impressed. Line of Lemmy faces. Despite Celestia's protests about ma consent and ma law, she was quickly over the table, one leg already broken into several pieces due to the force of Luna's cock slap. Her face stung with both ears, and with both tears and acid pre-cum. She didn't believe that this was how she died. Not in a grand battle, not in a bed surrounded by loving family and friends. No, raped to death in a private study by her little sister. Seriously, she didn't see it coming. Oni-sama, Luna heard. It is of time for rape. Luna, no, please. Celestia begged. Bite the pill, Oni-sama. I'm going in dry. Luna put her hips back as far as possible before thrusting towards her rod of Lordy might. The house Celestia pierced dimensions, causing a spaceship to crash somewhere. I didn't even get the tip in yet, you giant fucking pussy, Luna complained. I missed. Celestia only continued crying, wondering why no pony had hurt her. That's when it actually went in. The acid burnt her insides as they struggled to adjust to the instruction of the size of Nazi Germany's armies. Eventually, much like France, they surrendered, giving little resistance to the invader. And much like France, Celestia was hoping somebody else would save her. But no help was on its way, for the Royal Guards Union had declared a strike action on this day. They were all outside, crowded around a burning barrel, drinking tea, and generally not doing much complaining, but all they wanted was a break. So Celestia was fucked, literally. Luna, Celestia sobbed, please stop. Luna leaned close to Celestia and licked her tears from her face, continuing her relentless assault on Vagina Fortress. Cry some more. I find that really attractive, Oni-sama. Luna mocked. She continued bucking back and forth before wincing a little from the friction. Looking down at Celestia, she noticed the smell of burning flesh and how some areas of the vaginal entrance were charred. She must have been fucking Celestia so fast she had combusted. Oh dear, Luna said. She scooped up some tears from Celestia's face before pouring them on the burned areas. The tears sizzled on the wounds of it, turning to steam. Blood bubbled from the wounds. Celestia remained silent. She had no words to say to being raped by her sister, using tears and blood for lubricant. The burning of the acid pre-cum tore her insides, while the burning of the friction and hot steam burned her marehood, blistering, cooking, melting. She could feel the penis pulse inside her, not caring what organs it destroyed in its death march to orgasm, to coming inside her, making her pregnant with her own sister's child. Celestia tried to remember all the abortion spells she knew, but couldn't focus due to the inconvenient case of being violently raped. Celestia tried to reason with herself that it happened to the best of ponies, but she was basically a goddess. Or that is what she paid public relations to say. In actuality, she had about the same level of power as a third-world dictator. Luna kept thrusting, breathing heavily as she approached her limit. She felt her penis thrash, wanting to vomit on its hot load of sticky life fluid into Celestia's totally willing womb, or her kidneys. Luna wasn't exactly sure which organ she was fucking. Luna, please. Don't. Not inside, senpai. Luna pleaded. Luna grinned. In the name of the moon, I will punish you. Celestia cringed as a bolt of cum shot through her at that moment. Her organs were JFK's brains, and Luna's penis was Oswald's rifle. And much like what happened on that fateful Dallas afternoon, Celestia's organs tore apart, as she realized she was pretty much doing to die now. It felt bad. Luna panted and inspected her handiwork. Blood, cum, and piss poured out of Celestia's mare hood. The Solar Princess cried softly. Her lungs were now pregnant, but at least Luna didn't go for the forbidden zone. Celestia thought to herself, I'm going to impregnate your ass pussy, Luna. Luna stated, matter-of-factly, examining the target of this surgical strike of her J-damn-sized dong. Fuck, Celestia thought. Luna lined up her assault column for the rear assault of the Ass City Vagina Fortress fell after repeated assaults and poundings. Now it was Ass City's turn to suffer. Luna inhaled the scent of the blistered labia, and quickly spat on the anal ring of fire and tilted her head back as she contemplated maybe getting a bottle of spaghetti sauce to lube up. If you're gonna do it, just do it, Celestia said in defeat. You win, Luna. Just let it end quickly. Luna rolled her eyes. Coward. If you're going to lie there and bitch, you might as well enjoy it. Celestia only gave a sharp sob in response. Luna prepared for the final battle. Penis thrust power. Activate. The battering ram hit the door, breaking in one hit. The anal sphincter snapped open with a twang, causing blood to spray all over Luna's crotch. Luna laughed as Celestia screamed so loud her vocal cords went on strike, citing unreasonable working conditions as the reason for their walkout. Celestia watched as her vocal cords physically displaced themselves from her body and camped out on the desk in front of her. Crowding around a burning barrel with signs stating that Celestia is a cruel boss and that they cannot be expected to work in such dangerous conditions without adequate pay and personal protective equipment. Celestia screamed silently as her digestive system completely exploded. She was officially butthurt, anally annihilated, shit or shattered, prostate penetrated, booty blasted. It was an absolute colon catastrophe, erectile ravaging, a prolapse party. Luna gritted her teeth and plunged further into the ruined sack of meat that was her older sister. Celestia had given up. Her hope was gone, the way most of her blood and poop out her ass. Luna continued fucking before his second cum shot rang out and speared through Celestia's spine. Celestia suddenly felt all sensation of her back end disappear. She was paralyzed, rape out, dying mess of a pony. All of her life had led up to this. It sucked. Celestia continued to silently scream due to her paralysis, but it was all for naught. The vocal cords would not end their display of socialism. Luna felt her balls become much lighter. She had maybe one shot left in her, and she intended to make this one count. Sister, today is the first day of the end of your life, Luna mocked. She watched Celestia's red eyes follow her to the table where the tea sat. Luna picked up the saucer and smashed it into jagged edges. I intend to ensure you go out with a bang, so to speak. You must be honored to get to die pleasuring me, and we all know what a selfless sister you are. Celestia shed more tears. She would be lying if she didn't admit that she wanted death now. I love you, dear sister. Luna smiled before sending the jagged ceramic shard into Celestia's throat. The Solar Princess tried to scream, but could only choke on her own blood. Luna could not help but be reminded of that video of Russian soldiers being executed in Dagestand. Finally, the opening was large enough that it was going to be the ultimate deep throat. Luna lined up her weapon of mass erection towards the gushing neck hole. Celestia continued to choke on her own blood, wondering how she wasn't dead yet. It was surely a most cruel god who watched this hideous display, while presumably masturbating furiously while maintaining eye contact with the family dog. Only Illuminati mystics did that. Oh fuck yes, Luna cried out. Celestia replied. Luna thrust her purple pony penis harder. The flesh of the receiver tore open, Despite only starting her final assault, Luna felt ready to climax already. She kept thrusting, but an acute realization that her life would be empty after this settled in. After doing this, there would be no more worlds to conquer. Luna was at her peak right here. There was only one thing left to do. Celestia's tears stopped being shed, her brain choosing to conserve its final resources on not dying, despite Celestia's wish that she'd just fucking die already. Luna emboldened herself for the last cum shot of her life, as she felt her cock be overwhelmed with pleasure. She pulled out and aimed her gargantuan Fuda penis at her chin. When the cum shot rang out, it went straight through Luna's brain, splattering it on the wall behind her. The lunar princess collapsed on the floor, twitching before finally settling when her brain died properly. Celestia watched the scene through her fading vision, wondering how she was still alive, before looking up, only to see the meaty member fall into her head, smashing it all over the floor. As both sisters lay on the ground dead, Twilight Sparkle entered the room and saw the scene. What the fuck?